Imagine holding a simple Lincoln penny in your hand. Just another piece of pocket change, right? But what if I told you that the very coin you casually spent on a morning coffee could be worth a jaw-dropping $100,000 or more? Yes, you heard that right. Some Abraham Lincoln one-penny coins are now among the most valuable coins in the world, fetching life-changing amounts at auction. First up, we have the 1962 Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent with the large date and D mint mark in dirty, rusty condition. Now, this coin may seem like it has seen better days, but don't let its worn appearance fool you. This coin has a story to tell and, believe it or not, is valued at an astonishing $50,000 and up in today's auction market. But what makes this coin so special? Let's take a deeper dive. The year 1962 was a pivotal one in American history. The United States was experiencing an economic boom, and the country was well into the post-World War II era. While 1962 was not a particularly rare year for the Lincoln cent, what sets this specific coin apart is its condition. Normally, coins that show signs of rust and dirt are considered damaged and lose their collector value. However, in the world of numismatics, certain types of wear and imperfections can actually add to a coin's mystique and value. The dirty and rusty conditions here refer to a natural oxidation process that occurred when this coin was exposed to elements over time. The 1962 Lincoln cent is part of the Memorial Cent series that was minted from 1959 to 2008. It features a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, which was designed by Frank Gasparo. This design replaced the previous wheat ears reverse, marking a significant shift in the design of American coins. The obverse features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's centennial, and it has remained a staple of American currency ever since. However, the 1962 large date with D mint mark, when found in a well-worn condition like this one, becomes extremely sought after. The D mint mark indicates that it was minted in Denver, one of the primary minting facilities in the United States. The large date variety from 1962 is not particularly rare in itself. It's the particular condition and scarcity of certain wear patterns that bring this coin to such high demand. Coins from this era, especially those with signs of aging like rust, have become highly desirable to collectors seeking unique, aged specimens with a story to tell. The mintage of the 1962 Lincoln cent was substantial, with over 1.5 billion coins struck. This high mintage means that there are plenty of these coins circulating, but only a small percentage of them are in the type of condition that appeals to collectors. Most of the coins were spent and lost over time, and only a handful remain in near mint or even low-grade conditions. Among these, a certain portion of coins has been affected by environmental factors, and these can be the most desirable of all for collectors who are looking for a coin that's truly one of a kind. The market for these kinds of aged Lincoln cents has exploded in recent years. With the popularity of error coins and uniquely preserved pieces growing, collectors are now willing to pay premium prices for coins that are not just rare, but also visually distinctive. In fact, this particular 1962 coin in dirty, rusty condition has garnered the attention of serious collectors and investors. As a result, this coin has recently sold for up to $50,000 at major auction houses, with the price climbing steadily as more collectors turn their attention to coins with fascinating histories like this one. Moving on to our next incredible coin, we have the 1975 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent, featuring the large date but without a mint mark, also in dirty condition. While this coin is not as widely recognized as its 1962 counterpart, its value has been climbing steadily over the past few years, with certain specimens fetching upwards of $75,000 in the right market. How is this possible for a coin that doesn't seem particularly rare at first glance? Let's break it down. The year 1975 was a time of transition in the United States. The country was coming out of the Vietnam War era, and the world was experiencing significant cultural shifts. However, the coinage of this era didn't stand out much at the time. The 1975 Lincoln cent, like many others of its time, was struck in copper, though there was a brief move towards zinc and copper plating in later years. The obverse design featuring Abraham Lincoln has remained a constant since its introduction in 1909, but the reverse was the more controversial change, as it was still dominated by the memorial design. Despite the relatively common nature of the 1975 Lincoln cent, what makes this particular coin so valuable is its condition. Just like the 1962 example, this coin has been exposed to the elements, which has led to its dirty and worn appearance. But collectors of error coins and those with a keen eye for unique conditions value coins like this for their visual appeal. The dirt and wear that have accumulated on the surface have created a sort of character that many coin collectors find deeply appealing. There's something about the way a coin ages and transforms over time that makes it more valuable than just a simple, pristine specimen. The large date variety of the 1975 Lincoln cent is particularly interesting because, while it wasn't initially considered rare, it has become so due to the limited number of these coins that have been preserved in any condition at all. The lack of a mint mark adds another layer of intrigue, as coins without mint marks are often associated with certain errors or anomalies in the production process. While this particular coin was not produced in an error environment, the absence of a mint mark is still an interesting feature that adds to its desirability. Mint marks were used to distinguish which facility struck the coin, and this specific coin being without one suggests that it was likely produced in the Philadelphia Mint, which is known for striking coins without a mint mark. The 1975 Lincoln cent has a mintage of over 4.7 billion coins, making it one of the more common years for the series. However, the sheer number of coins minted means that many of them were either lost, damaged, or spent over time, leaving only a small portion of those coins remaining in any sort of collectible condition. As such, coins like this one, in a worn, dirty state, have become valuable simply because they are rare in their current form. The demand for these kinds of coins has surged in recent years as collectors and investors alike are drawn to the allure of these aged Lincoln cents. Now, why has this specific coin sold for such a staggering price in today's market? The answer lies in the current trends in numismatic collecting. Coins from this era are becoming increasingly desirable, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for those that are rare, even in a dirty or worn state. As more collectors enter the market and the availability of high-grade examples dwindles, coins like this 1975 Lincoln cent are becoming highly sought after, with auction houses and private dealers driving prices to unexpected highs. Next up, the 1986 Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent with a large date and a D mint mark. It's not every day you come across a coin with such a fascinating story and eye-popping value, especially one that's been tainted by time. This coin, found in black-color dirty condition, still manages to fetch incredible prices at auction, often valued at over $50,000 when in good standing. But what exactly makes this coin so valuable? The 1986 Lincoln 1 cent holds a special place in U.S. coin history due to its subtle but significant design elements. Unlike the 1981 or 1983 pennies, the 1986 edition, while bearing the iconic Abraham Lincoln portrait, features a distinctive large date on the obverse. This design modification was made during the minting process and has led to the coin being highly desirable among collectors, especially those who specialize in finding slight variations in mintage. What makes the 1986 penny even more interesting is the presence of the D mint mark. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which was responsible for minting many of the Lincoln pennies during this era. However, it's the black color and dirty condition of this coin that really catches the eye of collectors. It's somewhat unusual to find a coin in this particular state, as dirt and grime can significantly lower a coin's value in general. But the 1986 Lincoln 1 cent, in this blackened condition, is a highly coveted piece because it adds an element of mystery and intrigue to the coin's history. Now you might be wondering, how could a coin in such a dirty state still hold such tremendous value? Well, there's more to it than just the physical condition. This particular coin is considered one of the finest examples of a find coin, one that is rarely seen in any condition, let alone one as unique as this. The black coloring on the coin is believed to be a result of years of exposure to environmental factors, possibly including oxidation, smoke, or other substances that could cause such darkened coloration. For a coin collector, finding a 1986 penny in this specific condition, and with such an unaltered original look, is a rare and exciting occurrence. In terms of market value, the coin's worth is deeply tied to its mintage numbers. There were only approximately 6.4 billion pennies minted in 1986, but most of these coins were either lost, damaged, or spent, leaving a very small number in pristine or unusual conditions. As time goes on and collectors continue to treasure rare coins like this, the value of such a piece grows exponentially. What makes this coin even more attractive is its appearance in auctions. Those few collectors lucky enough to snag one of these coins often see their investment grow rapidly in the secondary market, fetching a price far beyond what anyone would expect for a simple penny. Historically speaking, the 1986 penny is tied to an important time in American history. It was minted during the Ronald Reagan presidency, in an era where the economy was undergoing significant changes. In fact, this period is often remembered as one of economic recovery and growth following the early 1980s recession. The penny, which had been minted in massive numbers during times of prosperity, symbolized both the country's growth and its ongoing relationship with currency, marking a period when the federal government had more confidence in its economic future. Now, let's dive deeper into the design features that give this coin its special significance. The reverse side of the coin features the famous Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American history and patriotism. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this was the last design of the Lincoln Memorial reverse that was used before the penny transitioned to a new design featuring a shield in 2010. The detailed nature of the reverse side makes it especially attractive to collectors who appreciate intricate craftsmanship. But what truly makes the 1986 Lincoln 1 cent with the D mint mark such a valuable coin today is its place in numismatic error collection. There have been several reports of coins from this era that exhibit unique errors in minting, ranging from double die varieties to off-center strikes. But this specific coin is prized because it remains highly intact despite the blackened surface, making it even rarer. The dirt and grime that coats the coin don't affect the minting error's integrity, which means collectors can still appreciate its historical importance and design features. The market for these coins continues to grow, and more investors are becoming aware of how rare and important these kinds of pennies are. In particular, the 1986 Lincoln 1 cent with a D mint mark has been featured in major coin auctions, fetching prices of up to $60,000 in some instances, particularly for those coins that feature clear and well-preserved design features despite their condition. Moving on to another highly valuable Lincoln penny, the 1982 with a D error mint mark in circulated, dirty condition. This particular coin is one of the most fascinating examples of a U.S. penny that has captured the attention of numismatists and coin collectors alike. With its significant error and the unique condition in which it has survived, the 1982 Lincoln 1 cent with the D mint mark error coin is not only rare but holds a market value that exceeds $50,000, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. The 1982 Lincoln 1 cent coin is famous for its unique transition year. It marked a change in the metal composition of the penny, shifting from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc to a copper-plated zinc core. This change in material was made due to rising copper prices, and it has made the 1982 pennies particularly interesting to collectors who focus on the metal composition, as well as the rarity of such changes in U.S. coinage. However, what truly sets this particular 1982 penny apart is the error associated with the D mint mark. The mint error that makes this coin so valuable was due to a misplacement of the mint mark, resulting in a coin that features an incorrect or double-minted D. Mint errors like this are highly sought after by collectors because they represent the rare occurrences where a coin has gone through the minting process incorrectly, making it stand out from other coins produced at the same time. In terms of mintage, the 1982 penny is notable for having been produced in high numbers. Over 7.7 billion pennies were struck that year, but a small fraction of these were the subject of errors. These error coins are what coin collectors are searching for, and they are willing to pay extraordinary prices to add one to their collection. The rarity of the 1982 with a D error mint mark, in particular, is amplified by the fact that it was not widely known about or identified until years after the coins were originally circulated. This is a key feature that drives collector demand. The 1982 D-error penny in circulated dirty condition still holds its value because of the fascinating story behind its minting. Coins like this aren't just about their physical state, it's about what they represent in the history of U.S. coinage. When it was first minted, this penny would have been part of daily life in the early 1980s, an era marked by significant political and economic changes. For collectors, owning a piece of this history, one that has survived decades of circulation and still possesses its minting errors, is a thrilling prospect. Though dirty coins generally see their value drop, a coin like this 1982 penny defies convention. The dirt or grime on the coin does not obscure the error. In fact, it enhances its appeal. The dirt adds character, further proving the coin's authenticity and its time spent in circulation. It tells the story of how this particular penny was handled, passed through countless hands, and eventually found its way into the hands of an eager collector, ready to discover its worth. This coin's value is largely driven by its rarity. As time passes, fewer and fewer of these error coins are discovered in circulation, and those that are often end up in private collections. The error itself, the misplaced D-mint mark, creates an entirely unique version of the standard 1982 penny, and this uniqueness makes it a highly prized specimen. The 1982 D-error mint mark coin has become one of the most sought-after pennies in modern numismatics, often appearing in auction houses where it commands a high price due to its rarity and the collector interest in acquiring a piece of U.S. history. Collectors and investors alike are on the lookout for coins that not only have significant errors but also carry a high degree of historical value. The 1982 with a D-error mint mark coin is no exception, and its value will only continue to rise as fewer and fewer of these error coins make it to market. Next up, we have the highly prized United States Abraham Lincoln 1 cent 1970. Large date with a D mint mark in circulated condition. A coin that might seem common at first glance, but its rarity, design, and collector demand push it to the top of the auction blocks. The 1970 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent coin is a part of the ongoing series of Lincoln cents that have been minted since 1909. The coin was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since its introduction, the design has remained relatively unchanged, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The Lincoln cent has gone through various design modifications, and the coin we're focusing on, the 1970 version, carries some significant nuances. The first thing to understand about the 1970 large date with the D mint mark is its design features. The coin depicts President Abraham Lincoln in profile on the obverse side, which was designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side shows the traditional 1 cent inscription, along with a pair of wheat stalks on either side, which was a design by Frank Gasparo. The simple yet powerful design has made the Lincoln cent one of the most iconic coins in American numismatics. Now, let's talk about the specifics of the 1970 coin. The large date refers to a specific design detail where the numbers in the date are noticeably larger than previous versions. While this may seem like a small detail, it's one of those distinguishing characteristics that coin collectors obsess over. The D mint mark is stamped on the coin, indicating it was minted at the Denver Mint. The D mint mark coins from 1970 are less common than their Philadelphia counterparts, making them more attractive to collectors. However, what truly sets this particular coin apart is the condition it has remained in over the years. While most 1970 Lincoln cents were mass-produced for circulation, there is a relatively small percentage that has survived in excellent circulated condition, giving these coins a higher market value. These circulated coins, while not in mint state, still retain a lot of their details and have been preserved better than the majority of their counterparts. In today's auction market, these coins have seen tremendous appreciation in value. Depending on their condition, collectors are paying upwards of $30,000 for a single coin in good circulated condition. A coin that might seem like a small, humble piece of history holds immense value today due to the rarity of well-preserved examples. The real kicker in the market value of this coin, however, is the fact that it is not easy to find in pristine, circulated condition. Most 1970 Lincoln cents were used heavily in circulation, and they've worn down considerably over the years. This is what makes a coin in excellent circulated condition so special. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a coin that has survived the test of time, retaining its clear features despite years of use. The demand for these coins among collectors has grown significantly, pushing its value well beyond what many might expect for a 1-cent piece. A key reason for the interest in the 1970 large date with D mint mark is its place in the history of American coinage. 1970 marked an era of transition for the U.S. Mint. The Mint was adjusting its production processes, experimenting with different ways to strike coins, and refining its techniques. As a result, small variations in the design and minting process became more pronounced during this time, making certain years and mint marks more valuable than others. This variation, combined with the fact that fewer 1970 large, date with D mint mark coins were struck in better quality, has created a niche market for these rare pieces. Moreover, these coins have a fascinating collector's appeal due to their association with Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered figures in American history. Lincoln's legacy continues to resonate deeply within the nation, and collectors are naturally drawn to coins that bear his likeness. When a coin like the 1970 large date with D mint mark comes to market, it doesn't just represent a piece of currency but a historical artifact that connects the collector to a moment in time that helped shape the United States as we know it today. The value of these coins continues to rise, especially as more collectors look for rare and significant pieces to add to their collections. In the current auction market, this coin regularly sees bids exceeding $50,000, and this trend is only expected to continue as demand rises and supply remains limited. The fact that these coins are in circulated condition only adds to their allure, as it's a testament to their journey through history and their survival against the odds. Next up, we have another highly valuable Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin from the 1975 series. The United States Abraham Lincoln, 1 penny, 1975, large date with a D mint mark error. This coin stands out not only for its age and design, but also for the unique error it carries, which makes it highly sought after by serious coin collectors. The 1975 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent is part of the continued effort to commemorate President Abraham Lincoln. It also marks another significant point in U.S. minting history. During this time, the mint was dealing with several technical challenges, including a shortage of copper and changes in the production processes. These issues resulted in a variety of interesting minting anomalies, including the error found in the 1975 coin. One of the most significant features of the 1975 large date with D mint mark coin is the error involving the reverse side of the coin. Specifically, the error involves a strange black discoloration that appeared on the reverse side of the coin. This discoloration, which many collectors refer to as a black spot, has puzzled numismatists for years. Some believe it may have resulted from the minting process, while others think it could be a result of post-production contamination or chemical reactions over time. Regardless of the exact cause, the black coloration on the reverse side makes the coin a unique and highly sought-after error piece. The 1975 coin was minted during a period when coins were still being heavily used in circulation. However, due to the significant variation caused by the error, the 1975 Lincoln penny with this particular flaw is considered extremely rare. Most coins that were released into circulation during this period were subjected to heavy wear and tear, leaving the majority in poor condition. However, a few survived in better quality, and it is these surviving examples that have captured the attention of collectors and dealers alike. The mintage of the 1975 Lincoln 1-cent coin was relatively high, as it was minted in large quantities to meet the demands of a growing population and an expanding economy. However, the error coin is incredibly rare, as only a small number of these coins were struck with the black coloration on the reverse. This has led to a sharp increase in demand, pushing its value into the stratosphere. The market value of the 1975 Lincoln 1-cent coin with the black reverse spot has been estimated to exceed $50,000, depending on the coin's condition and the severity of the error. The collector interest in this coin is extraordinary. Errors, by their very nature, are attractive to numismatists because they provide a glimpse into the imperfections that can occur during the minting process. Error coins have always been highly prized, and collectors are willing to pay substantial amounts for those that are unique or particularly striking. The 1975 large date with D mint mark error coin fits this category perfectly, as it represents a rare instance of a minting anomaly that has survived for over 40 years. The 1975 coin's appeal is not just tied to its error, but also to the fact that it represents an important period in U.S. coinage. The 1970s were a time of significant change for the U.S. Mint. Economic pressures, including rising inflation and the need for cost-cutting measures, led to the introduction of new designs, new materials, and new minting techniques. The resulting variations from this era make coins from this period even more valuable to collectors, who are eager to own pieces that reflect this transitional phase in U.S. coin history. In today's auction market, these 1975 Lincoln pennies with the unique error are consistently selling for prices that range from $20,000 to higher amounts, depending on the quality and rarity of the specimen. This remarkable coin continues to rise in value as more collectors seek out rare and significant examples to complete their collections. As more and more people discover the story behind this coin and its remarkable error, the demand for it is only expected to increase. Thank you for watching today's video on these extraordinary Lincoln pennies. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. We've got more exciting stories from the world of valuable coins coming your way soon. Happy collecting!